Hello, and welcome to Select 10, Netflix science fiction movies that will introduce you to distant worlds, dystopian futures, and the most extraordinary reaches of human creativity. From high-tech thrillers to alien invasions and beyond, these selections are sure to please your inner science fiction enthusiast. However, keep in consideration that the availability of these movies on Netflix may differ according to your region, because this list is based on Netflix's global options. So let's venture out into the uncharted and discover the top sci-fi movies available on Netflix currently. Number 10. The Blackout. It is a 2019 science fiction action movie directed by Igor Baranov. The film takes place in a world where the majority of Earth has been impacted by a mysterious blackout, with only a tiny part of Eastern Europe remaining untouched. This area, known as the Circle of Life, serves as mankind's last hope for survival. The main attention is on the military forces, led by Major Oleg, who have been deployed inside the circle and learn the real reason behind the blackout and are forced to consider whether mankind is worthy of being spared. The film is visually magnificent, with enormous-scale action sequences, well-executed CGI, and a dark, ominous mood. Although the concept and visuals are excellent, it suffers from pacing and continuity flaws. Overall, the storyline is full of bold concepts and creates an incredible science fiction epic. While it falls short in terms of execution and character development, it is nevertheless an enjoyable watch for fans of dystopian action films. Number 9. The Thing. It is a science fiction horror movie directed by Matthias van Heiningen Jr. As a prequel to the 1982 masterpiece of the same name, it delves into the details surrounding the extraterrestrial organisms finding at the Norwegian exploration outpost in Antarctica. The film opens with a Norwegian team of researchers identifying an unidentified spaceship trapped below the Antarctic ice. The story revolves around paleontologist Kate Lloyd, who is called in to conduct research and encounters an unknown extraterrestrial life form that can copy any life. As mistrust creeps in, the crew must determine who is human and who has become sick. Although some scenes' excessive use of CGI lessens the intense horror, the Antarctic backdrop is expertly filmed, perfectly expressing the region's seclusion and harshness. Being a prequel, the movie finds it difficult to overcome the legacy of its predecessor. While it gives the 1982 movie's events more background, it doesn't have the same amount of suspense or uniqueness. Despite these drawbacks, it skillfully creates intrigue and provides a number of exciting moments, making it a must-see for fans of the original and dystopian sci-fi. Number 8. The Fact. Robert Rodriguez. Set in Harrington High School, the plot chronicles a bunch of high school students. Throughout, the film maintains a mix between horror, comedy, and satire, making for an intriguing. Number 7. Mortal Engines. It is a 2018 post-apocalyptic sci-fi epic directed by Christian Rivers. Based on Philip Reeves' book, the movie imagines a future in which cities have evolved into moving machines that scour the planet for supplies. The narrative centers on Hester Shaw, an angry young woman who enters London, a huge moving city, to kill Thaddeus Valentine, a vicious historian engineer who plans to turn outdated equipment into weapons. The movie is full of visually enormous moving cities and steampunk-style technology, perfectly encapsulating the scope and majesty of the book. However, the movie finds it difficult to balance the depth of its book premise and tries to fit a complex, several-layered book into a 2-hour running length, which makes many of the segments and world-building aspects seem thin. Overall, fans of the book may be dissatisfied by the lack of substance, but for those looking for a visually fascinating adventure, it's worth watching, despite its flaws. Number 6. Slither. It is a 2006 science fiction comedy that James Gunn directed. The movie takes place in the tranquil hamlet of Wheelsey, where Grant, a local, is infected by an alien parasite that crashes ashore. With Grant acting as its host, the parasite's contamination advances via a hive mind system, while Sheriff Bill Pardee and a few survivors head the fight against the invasion from spreading. The movie's small group of endearing, eccentric characters adds to the film's wickedly funny mood. Overall, it's an effective mix of horror and humor, but its lure is dependent on the viewer's endurance for gore and satire. The film doesn't hold back when it comes to extreme, gory scenes that might be too much for some viewers. Although the narrative is rather straightforward and free of deeper concepts or uniqueness, it stands out in the horror comedy genre thanks to its witty writing, powerful acting, and humorous tone. Number 5. Bumblebee. Adventure movie that serves as a prequel and a kind of reboot to the Transformers franchise, focusing on a yellow Volkswagen in a trash yard and uncovers it is a robot. Meanwhile, two Transformers series was stuck. Bumblebee is a welcome comeback. Number 4. Nerve. It is a 2016 technological thriller directed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. Based on Jean Ryan's 2012 book, the narrative centers on V. Delmonico, a quiet senior in high school who, to show off her adventurous side, signs up for Nerve, a shadowy internet game where players engage in challenges for money prizes and viewers pay to witness and decide on dares. On her first dare, V is paired with Ian, a charming player, and the two end up stuck in a situation where the spectators decide their fate. The utilization of real-time text layers and mobile screens is effectively incorporated, lending realism to the digital era environment. Nerve is a sleek, action-packed thriller that poses interesting queries regarding the dangers of social media, anonymity, and a collective mindset. But the story mostly depends on fast-paced action and spectacle, which often overpower more in-depth examination of its fascinating subject. Overall, Nerve is a visually striking film that effectively conveys the danger and wonder of exposure in the digital age. Number 3. Project Power. It is a 2020 sci-fi action thriller directed by Ariel Schulman and Henry Joost. Set in a grim New Orleans, the movie centers on a strange drug that gives people 5 minutes of superpowers. The story follows teenage dealer Robin, local police officer Frank Shaver, and retired soldier Art as they discover the deadly plot and fight against more powerful adversaries, exploiting pill powers. The film highlights the unpredictable abilities of people by fusing spectacular visual effects with brutal realism. Moreover, the location of New Orleans, with its thriving culture and city breakdown, lends an appealing backdrop. Although the film has a fascinating idea, it is ineffectively implemented and does not go further into its ideas. Despite these shortcomings, it is a fun sci-fi action movie with an innovative take on the superhero genre, with a lot of intense scenes, strong performances, and an interesting concept. Number 2. I'm Your Man. It is a 2021 romantic sci-fi dramedy that examines love, relationships, and artificial intelligence. The narrative follows Alma, a lonesome scientist who consents to take part in a peculiar experiment in order to get money for her work. For a period of 3 weeks, she has to share her life with Tom, an artificially intelligent robot designed to be her perfect companion. Through their exchanges, the movie explores difficult issues regarding friendship, independence, and what love is. Maren Eger gives an effective portrayal, capturing Alma's emotional state, while as Tom, Dan Stevens excels, giving a startlingly accurate robotic performance. Although the story's slow-burning narration may not appeal to all viewers, it brilliantly strikes a balance between humor and philosophical ideas at its heart. Overall, it presents an engaging take on the romantic comedy genre by fusing entertaining moments with thought-provoking queries about identity and relationships. Number 1. District 9. It is a 2009 sci-fi action film directed by Neil Blomkamp. The story takes place in South Africa, where years ago a huge alien spacecraft showed up, confining its residents and trapping aliens known as prawns to an area known as District 9. To move the aliens to another base far from populated areas, the government hires a commercial company called Multinational United, also known as MNU. The narrative centers on MNU field officer Wikus van de Merwe, who is tasked with leading the relocating initiative but becomes a target for MNU after unintentionally exposing himself to an enigmatic extraterrestrial substance. The film's documentary-style filming and flawless use of CGI make the aliens and their environment seem real. Its brilliant fusion of social commentary, science fiction, action, and emotions holds interest, and the pacing is excellent. But some viewers may find the story's unapologetic depiction of violence and dismal reality unsettling. It is a must-see for fans of character-centered science fiction and stands out in the genre due to its creativity and intriguing message about the human tendency for brutality and forgiveness. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe to our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.